There once was a dog with a keen sense of smell. She was known far and wide as Detective Dog Nell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Time after time, Nell the detective solved crime after crime.
Were you born a poet?
I'm not sure I was born a poet, but I think from the age of 5, I must have liked poetry because when I was 5, my father gave me the book of 1,000 poems for my birthday. And yeah, I learnt a lot of those, and my first choice of career was to be a poet. Second choice, ballerina, I think, when I was 5.
How hard is it to write a verse book for children?
It's very hard to write in verse. It's not really a matter of what rhymes with what. It's the rhythm and the scansion, the internal rhymes, the assonance, and so on. But I have to say that for me, that isn't the hardest part of writing because I was a songwriter before I was a book writer. For me, the hardest part is developing the storyline.
I mean, you say this book is about a dog, but actually I think it's about a human villain, but with benign tendencies.
Yeah, I'm not very good at out-and-out villains. I think I quite like villains with a soft side to them. I have got one real villain, I suppose, the highway rat, but even you have a sneaky sympathy with his craving for sweet things.
I just want to read you something from the Gruffalo, because I think it illustrates something about your verse. A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Some people have said that this sort of verse is no longer written, other than by you, and that in some ways it has resonances with Auden, Keats even. No.
I think Keats did feature in the book of 1,000 poems that I got when I was 5.
So that may well have set you on your trail.
Yeah, I suppose I grew up with this verse, and particularly also Edward Lear, Lewis Carroll, who wrote very, quite, they were nonsense verse, but, they were quite actually exact in their metre and quite musical as well. I like to think perhaps there could be a chain there and that future generations might learn to write in well-crafted verse. I think it would be a shame if that art was lost. And I suspect that a lot of the free verse that's so popular now, I wonder if in 200 years' time that will be read as much as Auden and his predecessors.
Axel Scheffler, who did the Gruffalo and is indeed doing your next book, he says your collaboration would never have happened without Europe.
The fewer barriers there are to any sort of artistic collaboration, the better. I don't want us all to fragment. And our books, Axel's and my books, have been translated into, I think, all the European languages.
Even Finnish?
Finnish, it's Mercury. Well, this is the French version of The Snail and the Whale. In English, it says, "This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale." In French, it's very kind of philosophical. "À quoi pense ce petit escargot perché sur son gros rocher noir? What is this little snail on its rock thinking about?"
You're excited about this book because it's the first one with a dog, but what on earth is your next one going to be?
Well, I have got a new book with Axel coming out later this year, which is a sequel to Zog, the schoolboy dragon. And Zog, by this stage, is in the Flying Doctor's team, and he's off sort of healing mythical creatures along with a princess and a knight. I've got quite a lot in the pipeline. Oh.
Wonderful. Julia Donaldson, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.